I'm at Madison Avenue, 45th Street. And this stretch of Madison along the side streets still has a quantity of payphones. And this one's quite notable. Looks like somebody set it on fire. Took a torch to it. Wonder what's up with this. Needless to say, there's no dial tone here. We took a torch to it and threw a bunch of food, or maybe that's vomit, I don't know. That's pretty intense though. These enclosures sometimes have these these are acoustical noise absorbers, and they sometimes make my eyes spin. They give me a headache. The coin slot is completely jammed with, I don't want to know what. I'm not touching this thing. I guess that's a cigarette. So this one has a trifecta of payphone brands on it. You've got Telebeam. Then you've got CityBridge, which is the current rightful owner of this thing. And then TCC Teleplex, which was owned by Dennis Novick. Telebeam is still in business. They saw the writing on the wall and diversified into business phone networks and that kind of thing. But they don't have any active payphones in New York City as far as I know. They may still be active in Long Island. So that's two in a row on, I can't get back far enough to get the whole thing, but this is Madison and 45th Street. And one last thing, I didn't see this at the base of the phone that looks like somebody took a torch to it. Some kind of food product, I don't know. It looks familiar, but I can't put a finger on what it is, and I certainly don't want to put a finger on it, literally. Madison and 46th, just one block up from the previous one. And this one has been castrated. See if that number's on my website. Yeah, this one's not especially interesting, is it? I think there's another one around the corner. Indeed, there is.
If they're busy, when they're busy, if they need more guys on time, they bring in a crew to help them. But it's still their guys, and then they bring in the crew. They did that a couple of times at happened. Like, I didn't say the day that they were installing the track, they brought in like 4 extra guys.
Okay, this is 48th Street off of 5th Avenue, Rockefeller Center area. This looks like an art installation. Hey, at least the light's on one of them. This is kind of the heart of Rockefeller Center, or I'm approaching it. The skating rink and the Christmas tree and all that. And here you got another 3 in a row. The blank advertising panel. Woohoo, retail is open. I think about a third of the shops downstairs in the concourse are open. Oh wow, dial tone. An early Christmas present, right? I think I'd earlier said that 75-80% of the phones, CityBridge phones, don't work. I think I'd actually edge that up more toward 10%. I mean 90% not working, 10% working. But of course dial tone doesn't always mean you can actually make a call. No dial tone here. Yeah, that's been there for like 6 or 7 months. I don't think CityBridge has been out here maintaining these phones since the pandemic started. How do you like that dial tone? I'm going to check the ANI on this. It's not going to be a 212 number, it's probably going to be 516. That's weird, the phone is just ringing. Normally this number picks up on the first ring. Did I misdial it somehow? Okay, I'm gonna try this again. Kind of a hard number to misdial. That number I dialed, 1-800-444-4444, is a number you dial to that was a really weird message. I wish I had a recorder that I could save this. I just got message 11 switch dash something. It was a automated message saying that Verizon Wireless failed to complete the call, or there was an error in processing the call. I wish I had my little suction cup recorder and a recording device on me, because that was a message I don't think I've heard before. I don't like repeating myself, but I'll say it again. 3 in a row is probably the most you're going to see in one site as far as outdoor payphones go in New York. Years ago, of course, you might find 12 in a row. Might as well get a little bit of the Christmas spirit, right? There was some silly meme going around Twitter when they first brought the tree in, that it looked like a Charlie Brown Christmas tree. And I don't see what that was about, but I think it was just one of those things that takes on a life of its own, even if it has no merit, no substance. It's not the best tree I can remember, but it's all right. I'll take it. Oh, that's making me dizzy. I remember once I was traveling in West Virginia, and I met some locals in Chester, West Virginia, small town. I told them I was from New York, and the guy's like, "Oh, so I bet I've seen you standing outside of the Today Show," because when they film the Today Show, or they do it live, and there's always a group of people, or a mob of people really standing outside. And I was like, "Yeah, man, I do that every day. I go hang out outside the Today Show every single day." There used to be hundreds of payphones down here in Rockefeller Center, and this crescent-shaped list of what you'll find down here includes communications, and that's in reference to the abundance of payphones and not just payphones, but also what do you call it? Those things where you send Western Union, those kind of things, where you send money or faxes or other types of communicates. So that's communication sign is still there, but it really doesn't mean anything anymore. There's one payphone in all of Rockefeller Center. I think they got rid of the Western Union, but the post office remains, and that's where my post office box is. But that communications bit of signage is a bit of a shout out to the old payphone population that used to be down here. So this is West 48th Street, Rockefeller Center. A couple of phones with this free Wi-Fi sign on top is the vestiges, or the remnants, if you will, of a orphaned pilot program in which I think a couple of dozen payphones around town were wired with Wi-Fi antenna, and I remember trying it a couple of times. It worked. It wasn't particularly fast, but it did seem reliable. That was one of the many last gasps that the independent payphone service providers of New York tried to inject some life into these payphones, but it got stampeded out of existence by Link NYC. Another bit of irony here is every CityBridge payphone has this placard on it that identifies who owns the phone and how to contact them if if you want it removed or whatever. But it also has the logo of the Independent Payphone Association of New York. Sort of like throwing salt on the wound, because CityBridge effectively erased the Independent Payphone Association of New York. That was the IPANY had about, at one point it had over 100 members of mom and pop payphone service providers. A lot of companies were just individuals, and in the end I think there were maybe 13 or 14 companies left, but they all got booted out of town to make way for CityBridge and its stupid Link NYC kiosks.
Somewhere fancy, because that looks like real stuff.
I was in the Diamond District last week, and I got a little lost, and I ended up in this really weird hall of mirrors. And I'm seeing myself through fogged up glasses, and I really need a haircut bad. I've been saying that since April. Yeah, this is a really strange place to have gotten lost. The chandelier had the Sia song going through my head the whole rest of the day. I was looking for an elevator and I couldn't find one, and it turns out I went through the wrong door. Anyway. This is 47th Street, by the way. So this is 46th Street off of 5th Avenue. And this one's a piece of work. Look at this. Completely disemboweled. Pretty hot musician warming up in the background, by the way. See, CityBridge can get away with this kind of shit because they have a unilateral monopoly on outdoor sidewalk payphones. Nobody can compete with them. And their monopoly is not strictly on payphones. It's I think they use the term like something like public communication device or public communication terminal or something like that. It's an open-ended term that comprises both these type of payphones as well as those Link NYC totems, which provide for some of the worst call quality you will ever encounter. This phone's a little better, a little closer to intact, but I mean it is intact, but no dial tone, of course. This looks like it should be a pray phone, but I don't think it is. Let's see here. Yeah, she's not here. This is the vintage that would be pray, but she's not here. Yeah, this one's even better. This is right across the street from the last one. CityBridge just can't seem to do their job, but we can cut them some slack on account of the pandemic, I guess. Maybe you could charge your phone here, charge something. Well, at least the handset's intact, but there's no dial tone. dial tone. How about it? I'm going to try to make a call again. I want to see what the ANI on this one is. It doesn't sound like anything's happening. Yeah, nothing's happening. Proving once again that dial tone doesn't necessarily mean you can make a call from these stupid things. One more try. Okay, I think I'm getting a connection. Nope, nothing's happening. Nothing is happening at all. There you go. Yeah, man. Look at all that hair. I don't like the way I look these days, but the woman I was dating didn't really care what I looked like, but she got deported, so I don't have anybody to look pretty for. I just don't want to look like Aerosmith, you know? These are on 45th Street, and if you've been paying attention to street numbers, you'll have observed by now that pretty much every block has 2 or 3 payphones on it. Of course, none of them work, but hey, they look nice, right? Okay, another dial tone. Tempt me, why don't you?
That was nothing from the car. My daughter accidentally.
I'm going to be patient with this. I'm going to wait for this call. Oh, look, it went through. This number is 516-242-0616. That's the number that would show up on your phone if I called you from this phone. It would not show, well, there's no number shown, but, and that's because all of these phones were converted from landline to cellular a long time ago, and porting the old 212 numbers was probably too much bother, so they just took what they could get. So I managed to successfully make a phone call from a Midtown payphone. I wasn't expecting that. This is 44th Street, next block, and we have 3 in a row. This is the vintage enclosure that would have had prey in it, but I don't think she's present in these for whatever reason. Looks like they all have numbers posted on them. No dial tone. No dial tone. Still has the old Verizon coin box cover on it. And no dial tone here. But I'll look all these numbers up when I get home to see if they're listed on my site, because I just love when that happens. Well, this one's showing some of its innards. I guess somebody stole the modem. I mean the router. like it's been sort of commandeered by the street vendor next door. Have a seat, make a phone call. Except you can't. And 43rd and 5th, and we find 3 in a row. With another 2 right down the block. It's a freaking cluster of payphones, isn't it? If I haven't said this before, every single payphone has a unique PPT ID, and that's the number that's on file with the city. The city itself doesn't keep track of the payphone numbers themselves. This is how they catalog them. And let's go see what these other 2 look like. This is, I said already, 43rd Street. Looks like somebody left a
When I bought it, I had the same problem.
I guess that's a headset. No dial tone here, no dial tone on those last 3 either. I'm still on 43rd Street. This one block has 7 payphones on it. Can you believe that? But I actually thought I did these already, but I guess not. We are going to get some prey today after all. Yeah, there she is. If I can focus. Yeah, go to ARG. I can't focus. I'll take my word for it. She's there. It says go to church, read Bible. No dial tone here, but I'm going to look up all these numbers that are shown on these phones later when I get home. Yeah, that's a little clearer. That's actually pretty cool looking. There's your unexpected mirror for the day.
Oh my gosh, Jemaya.